went for a test drive. It was a Ford Edge, and he liked it, the way he drives. He really loved the car. But just because the car did not have leather seats on it and a power seat and a power tailgate, he didn't want to get the car. He wanted a specific type of car, and that was the objection that I faced, and I couldn't handle it.
That's not an objection. It's the truth. I mean, it might just not be the car, bro. Like, it might just not be the car. Sometimes, like, hey, we all want to be the best. We all want to help. Like, Kellen owns a dealership. Me and him, like, we dealt with this our whole careers. Like, dude, do we want to go sell him that car? Do we want to try to handle it? Yeah, but sometimes, bro, it's just not the right fit. Like, it's just, like, let's just be honest. Like, you can't sell everybody something, especially some shit that they don't like. You know, if it's just the power lift gate, I can be like, here, man, let me ask you a question. Like, and I can start to work through it. I can be like, listen, you wanted it to do all 20 of these things, and ultimately it did 19 of them. Like, I'm sure that we can get over that, right? And if he can't get over that because his arm doesn't or he's got a muscle problem or some shit, and like he just won't get over that. I mean, bro, you got to understand, you might need to see more people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just going to have to keep going. New salespeople, what they try to do sometimes is they overthink a lot of this shit. Like, they're like, fuck, man, like, there's had to be a way to close that guy. Maybe there wasn't. I'm just being honest with you. That's what you don't want. You don't want to hear that from a sales trainer. But a lot of the times, dude, you get way too geeked out on things. I would present to him what he showed me, and I would say, listen, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, you wanted to have leather, you want to have it, and I would try to switch him cars. I would walk him around the lot, and I would say, okay, we've got ones that do this, this, and this, okay? Does it need to have that? If he came in on the Ford Edge, and I sat with him and I did a discovery, then I should know what he wants, and I can say, hey, you know what? I got one more idea. Listen, it needs to have that, it needs to have that, it needs to have that. I got the best idea, dude. And I know you wanted Ford, but listen, man, let me show you this. And if you consider this, I think it could work based on what you told me. Are you in, Mr. Customer? And he'd be like, shit, show it to me. And then because I've walked my inventory, because I know my job better than anybody, I'm not like, why don't you want that? Why? You listen, man. I'd just be like, hey, that makes total sense. Okay, so let's go back to what you wanted, Mr. Customer. Let's go back to serving you. Let's go back to helping you. You want the car to do this, this, and that. Okay, but you didn't mention leather, so does it have to have leather? Is that a need or a want? Help me understand. Is that like, I have to have that? If I don't have that, that's going to kill the deal? Or is that just like, man, that'd be nice, but if the price worked, if the deal worked, I'd skip over that. Hey guys, it's the Macklin Twins. Let's go. You can join our free training where you're going to see thousands of 1%ers just like you in our community, training on personal development, sales, mindset, and greatness. Yes. Join us. It's free. Click the link in the description. Elliott Training Academy. We'll see you on the inside. Let's go, baby. Click the link. Because I've made deals like that for myself where I'm like, damn, man, it don't got a sunroof, but like, how often do I really use the sunroof? Man, it doesn't got leather, but like, shoot, man, sometimes leather's, it's hot outside and my butt starts sticking to it and it feels a little awkward. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ride naked sometimes, okay? I'm just kidding. I don't, but some of y'all are trying to picture me riding naked, just dong driving down the street, dude, just stuck to the seat. I don't know why I said that, but sometimes you just got to rip. All right, but listen, guys. Nabu, it might not work for him. It might be something that you need to switch him. Don't get discouraged. Don't get in your head about it. Don't overthink it. Move. If you ever get stuck, just go back to the beginning and just say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, I must have screwed up somewhere along the way, and I didn't ask you that question. Let me ask you, need, want. Do we need that? Or do we just have to have that? Is that a have to have? And if they say that, then respect that and understand that's something that they must have, okay? All right, so this is kind of a great example, but like my wife, I'm showing her these houses, right? And I'm like, this is the house. Like, it's got this, it's got this, it's got this. Like, and I'm looking from my perspective, and she's told me a million times that she doesn't want to redo a kitchen, but everything is right in this one house but the kitchen. But she's like, I don't want to redo a kitchen, and I'm not redoing the cabinets of every room. And so I would show her these houses, and she said, dude, you're not getting it. And I'm like, but like, it's into this, it's got all this shit. Oh my God, I'm excited. But I don't really care about the kitchen, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really understand, So, but I'm trying to sell her on something that she doesn't want. So I'm wasting my time. Does that make sense? And sometimes salespeople will waste our time instead of getting to a qualified prospect or instead of qualifying them better up front and then being able to deliver the product that they're actually looking for. Does that make sense? We know the commission is on this, so we're like, take this. Come on, come on, come on, come on. And they're like, dude, that's not like my wife's been talking about buying this car for 5 months. You're like, we've done a lot of work on this. Like, she just won't take anything without leather. And I'm like, all right, let me think about my wife. She definitely wouldn't do that either. Okay, let me get you something with leather. Where's the leather? How many cars have I walked by this morning and took a look at? Do I know my inventory? Do I know what I need to really do? Okay, have a direct conversation. Now, Abu, since you're brand new into this business, sometimes salespeople don't know how to have a direct conversation. If you said that to me, I'd say, must have messed up. Tell me what you must have. What is it? And I would say, Barry, just like that. What do you need to must have? And then I would guide them to what they must have. I'm their guide. You know, if you got all the way through the presentation and then they're like, bro, I got to have leather and a lift gate, you might have messed up the beginning of the needs analysis. And then you wasted your time. And then you wasted their time. So the needs analysis in any sales situation is super important. Okay? You know, if like whatever business that you're in, you got to be able to sit down with somebody, understand what they're really trying to solve so that you can present the right product to somebody. So it's just naturally, it's the perfect pitch. Wow, and you just crack that pitch and it just goes in home run because you set it up correctly. So Nabu, you know, I think you're going to do really good. You know, does that help you, buddy?
Thanks, man. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay, so hey, man, just maybe focus on just setting them up a little bit better, sitting down with them a little bit longer, and, you know, saying, hey, what's the things that you must have? Hey, also, I know you guys aren't in car sales, but like, let's try to be smart and like use this in our industry. Could you say things like this? Hey, when you purchased last time or the car you currently have, like the car you currently have, what in the new car must you have? Have you seen things that like you're so dead set on that your current car doesn't have? Or when you purchased this car, did it have some things you wished it had? You know, because a wish I had is a little bit different than a must have. But like, if you know what they must have and then you know that they wish they had and you're tailoring something like a on the spot like vehicle that you're looking for, you can get creative. You can be like, damn, I know this exact one. And then you can go out there and find that exact one that somebody just brought in based on what they have. But you got to ask those questions up front. You got to be curious. How many salespeople aren't curious anymore? They're just trying to take an order. Bro, you got to be curious. You got to ask questions. And when you ask questions, what do the prospects do, guys? They lower their fence. They're like, you know, because they say things that they're not. And I'm like, why did you say that? Hey, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Oh, why didn't you get that on your last car? Okay, on your last car, you didn't get leather. Hold on a second. Common sense. This car doesn't have leather, but you are saying you have to have leather. Did you not like that one didn't have leather? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Is there a certain reason for that? Like, ask. And it's not selling them. It's like legitimately, guys, everybody that's in sales, you have to think about this. You have to have a doctor mindset. Doctor mindset. So when you go in there, you're not going in there like, oh, let me tell you what you need. Blah, 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 blah. Imagine if a doctor did that. Like, duh, you know they're selling you the medicine and all kinds of shit, right? And they're like, hey, you need this, you know, but they're not going in there like that. You know what they do? They go in there like this. Hey, so, you know, what's hurting? You're like, my arm. They're not like, oh, let me look at your leg. You know, I got this new thing for the leg. They're like, hey, let me look at your arm. And then they move your arm up and down. And they're like, does that hurt? Side to side, down and up. And they're like, oh, how does that feel? When I do this, how does that feel? Okay, how does that feel? And then they go, okay, perfect. And then they go back and then they come in and they say, hey, based on what you said is hurting, here's the prescription that we're going to give you. And then you don't object and go, nah, I don't want that. You're like, thank you. That's exactly what I want. Because they asked a lot of questions about what was the problem. And when you can solve the problem for the customer, they say yes, right? So look for the problem and then provide the solution and make it super easy. You got it, my brother. You got it, man. Keep it up, man. Keep it going. You're going to make it in this industry really good, man. I got no doubt. All right, guys, you're the true 1%ers. You made it to the end of the video. Let's go. Like, comment so we know who you are down below, and then share this video to somebody else who needs it. And also turn your notifications on because we got the fire coming every single day. Amazing. We'll see you at the next video. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.